I'm a Sun Devil, man!
27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
Third down and 5. 11 swings it to Scatterboom. Scatterboom breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scatterboom is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. Chuck this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. Still going back. That's the track. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Welcome on in. Oh. All right, there we are. Welcome on in to Friday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratanudo. Okay, hold on one second. Apologies. There we go. All right. Yes, there we go. I am Michael Caratanudo at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it. You love it. Yeah, you know it, you love it. Check out the show live every Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, I may have reminded you of this before. I don't know. So weird. You can go to the wonderful world of IG and go there. It's at michael.caratanudo.5. Yes, I know, add a dot between first and last name and then a .5 at the end, and then bam, you're good to go. So yeah. So yes, go there. And the YouTube channel, guys, go to YouTube and watch live, but subscribe because you've missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews. And if you're again watching this on YouTube later, that's good. But if you're watching live, we're going to be talking to Sun Devil quarterback Cam Dyer. Yeah, that 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year from New Mexico. That played in back-to-back state, won a state championship, played in back-to-back state championships. Yeah, that guy. We're going to talk to him. So yes, again, you're going to want to go to YouTube and catch up on season 1, season 2, binge watch those, keep watching season 3 and go from there because guys, again, you see this path to run Tillman on Fridays. Again, always sporting the Tillman stuff, but we honor Pat. It's best to honor Pat Tillman every day in the Tillman run. The Tillman Foundation, again, does a phenomenal job. So nonetheless, but yeah, go to YouTube and catch up on all the commentaries, whether it be coaches, players, voices, insiders, analysts, alum, an athletic director. And did I mention players? Yeah, because Cam Dyer, Sun Devil quarterback, yeah, that guy's going to be joining us shortly. So go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Caratanudo, but the channel's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away and check it out. So yes, but before we get to Cam Dyer, softball last night or yesterday. Yes, they beat Toledo in the first game of the Kajikawa Classic. Absolutely phenomenal. Then they turned around and played Oklahoma last night at 6:15. Guys, on the way in, I showed it to you. Kenzie Brown, what a phenomenal night. I mean, there's some sick stats I'm going to get to later after the interview. But, she's 13 strikeouts. She had 13 strikeouts last night, 4 walks. And, yeah, gave up a 2-run home run. But the Devils had the lead. Kaylee Pond, the veteran, like she likes to say, transferred the 6th year, hit a solo shot. The Devils had the lead on the Sooners. And then a Sooner freshman, and I forgot. I'm at the game, and yes, I realized, but I totally spaced that she was a freshman, Kendall Wells from Georgia. Yeah, she hits a 2-run jack, the catcher, and again, it was just such a phenomenal game. And you can say game 1, but I want to see another pitcher that goes toe-to-toe with OU like that, or another team just in general. ASU. Again, there might be a runner that got on. There are a few runners on base scattered. But inevitably the Devils fall 2-1. And yeah, it was a insane pitcher's duel. Audrey Lowry started for OU, and then of course Kenzie Brown, preseason All-American, and this looked awesome. Tiare Ho Ching, we heard the other day, moves over to shortstop. Looked pretty comfortable, looked pretty good. No, it's like I said, games 1 and 2. And they continue tonight. They play Texas State tonight at 6:15. But guys, 2,373 last night was the attendance. Yeah, 2,373, which is a record attendance star by it, though, asterisk by it, whatever you want to say, outside of a U of A game, because they actually added seats for U of A series, and there's about 2,800 a few years ago. So that being said, yeah, you guys, it is just, again, going to be, like I said, absolutely a phenomenal season. Coach Barley got it rocking, and again, I look forward to chatting with players. Monday, guess what? I set up for Monday real quick before we go to break, because, again, we are going to hear from Cam Dyer, who, again, had the ACL injury, was here last spring, but had the ACL injury, and then, but through the fall, just rehabbing, got back. I can't wait to catch up with Cam as we go from there. But yes, it is Tiare Ho Ching, I mean, look good defensively. Again, you look good. And for, Arizona State, upon, like I said, the senior transfer, you have Tiare Ho Ching back, Ashley Mejia back, Tanya Windle, Acuna, Sam Swan behind the plate. Jasmine Roberts had a nice nice game at third base too, and that's second base against Oklahoma's. So that middle infield again, and a Pond in center field had a hell of a catch too, outside of the home run jack that I showed you on the way in. I'll show it to you here. We'll see it again right before we'll go to break, and then we're gonna talk to Cam Dyer. So hold on. Oh no. Okay, there I am. Okay, this should work out. There we go. Yep, there's Gilly Pond. Oh, I'm sorry. Not good. Brown striking somebody out. Again, one of her 13 last night. Here's the dinger that I got. That pitch, roll it up and just slow. Just graceful right there. Let's check it out for look at this thing. Pitch may have got away from Ari a little bit up. Oh man, I gave the Devils the lead. He is stoked the first game. Transfer from Cal, talking about deja vu. Look at emphatically touching home plate there, and then the celebration. Absolutely awesome. So, yes, that's Kelly Pond. Hey, we're going to step aside when we get back, though, guys. Cam Dyer, again, get your stuff, get your food wherever you're at. You're at work, you're chilling. Get right back, because when we come back, Cam Dyer is going to be here on Pitchfork Lunch. All right, we are back here on a Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, you guys know it's Friday. That's why we got the Pats Run shirt always on. Obviously, Pat Tillman forks up to just, again, obviously a phenomenal Sun Devil, but on top of that, a phenomenal person. Obviously, sir, you guys know Pat's Run. It's up and going. You can sign up. You can register. I just found out today that Rob Riggle is actually going to be the starter. He's a former, people like a comedian. Why? Rob Riggle is a former Marine. For those of you that don't know, Marine. But anyway, I just want to get that out there because speaking of the football theme, kind enough to join me. He joined me right after he had signed. He was hanging out in New Mexico as back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year in New Mexico. Signed as a receiver initially and could play quarterback, but then they said, we want you at quarterback. And Well, he had a battle back from injury, but he came back, and now he's nice enough to join me again. Looking healthy, feeling healthy, I guess. Cam, how's everything going, man? Thanks for jumping on Pitchfork Lunch again. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. No problem. No, I'm feeling great, man. Blessed to be here.
That's awesome. Well, let's start with that. How's the so your family now? Your sister, is she committed to play college? Is she in college right now playing basketball, or is she committed? Because I remember you posted that. That was really awesome. Is she playing right now, or she got another year of high school?
Yeah, right now she's currently playing. She's a senior at La Cueva High School.
Okay.
She's committed. She's actually signed to play at Pacific University in Stockton, California.
Nice.
So yeah, she's excited for that, man. She's getting better each week. She still can't beat me in a 1v1, but she's doing her thing though, for sure. I'm proud of her.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about that last time, and you said she was getting looks. This is before obviously she had committed. You're like, but she's not going to take me. And I said, I go, I bet you if I ask her, she might have a different story to that. But we'll go with you because you're here, and we know you got skills. We know you got multiple skills. But no, that's good, man. That's good to hear. So yeah, I mean, Stockton. I mean, that's not too far. So even though you have to wait for football season to be over, you go check a few of her games out.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I definitely hope to get out there and just see what she's doing.
Well, that's awesome. So, all right. So this past season, let's get right to it, my friend, because obviously you came in with the injury. And I mean, I posted many a times, during practice, after practice and stuff. And on my show, on the show throughout here about how, man, like he's going through, he's in pads every day, which I know obviously is good mentally, but I go, he's doing his rehab. He's getting there. He's throwing extra every day after practice. So with having to go through the season like that, though, and we'll get to you were cleared and activated, but man, just how was that first part of the season? I mean, obviously you're learning, you were here for spring ball, which was huge, but you're learning, a new offense. You're with your college team, but just what was that like rehabbing and everything? And how did you seemingly get through it so smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was smooth. I think it was definitely challenging at first. I think I definitely had to learn who I was becoming and just kind of take a second, look at things from a different perspective and kind of just, weigh my options and kind of see what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. And I think that was a big piece, coming in. I think it would have been very easy to be, kind of be just keep my head down and, not be focused. And I don't know. I mean, I think a big piece was just coming into this culture and coming into a program where there's guys who can look after me and guys who can uplift me. And I think that was a big piece, those first couple months were rough, and just the support of my teammates helped me through it. Yeah,
no, and that's always huge. And I think, the good thing about, I mean, injuries always suck, not the good thing, but when I said rehab, because having talked to a lot of coaches and, even trainers in the last quite a few years, but, if you're able to at least be at practice and, if you're not able to do anything, but just mentally check in and, go through reps and just be around your teammates, that a lot of trainers said, yeah, it might not be scientific, but that's great for the psyche, and it actually helps recovery go even better. So the fact that you were able to, get in pads and participate, do you feel that was, I mean, obviously better for you, but just, understanding the day-to-day and the competition, going through what you're going through, but at least you got to be around the team.
Yeah, physically, I may have not, obviously always been there, but mentally I was always there. You know what I mean? I was definitely making sure that I was paying attention to each drill in detail, each different period of practice, kind of figuring out the structure. Because, once you're out there, you're expected to go. And, nobody really cared, that I was coming back. It was just more so, I mean, I wouldn't say nobody cared, but it's more so a focus on the team and what we can do to get better, and not more so like, okay, Cam's coming back from a knee injury, like let's slow things down and cater it to him. No, like I had to speed up a little bit and make sure that my mind was sharpened. So when I could do the things physically that it looked like I was on the same page with those guys for months prior to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, from the mentorship side, like you said, I mean, obviously it is physical, but a huge amount of it, as coaches always say, and you guys as players say, I mean, it is mental. It is the film room. It is, rewinding tape and, seeing where defenses are and just getting calls, working with the other guys. But I say that leading to, I mean, working with somebody like Sam Levin, seeing what he did. And then Jeff Sims, because obviously he came back, could have transferred knowing that he was, going to be the backup. But he came back, grind and doing the same thing. So sitting in the room with those two, I know, and obviously a few more, but with Jeff and Sam, what was that like for them, like them helping you kind of with your growth and leadership, and at least from the mental part, like you said, checking into the game. So, yeah, physically you might be a half a step off on something or, a little bit off on a throw when you first get back, but mentally everything's there for you. What was it like working with those two?
It was great. I think it forced me to ask questions to other players instead of just like coaches. I feel like growing up, I've always learned, just through me and my pops talking, or just through, me and some of my coaches talking, just kind of that way. So it was kind of different learning from two guys who have played my position, who have played at a high level, who has done all the things that I'm trying to do and accomplish. And just getting that insight, just kind of picking their brains a little bit was very valuable to me. They're both obviously very different, but they both had processes that benefited them plenty. And, I just took bits and pieces from both of them and, used it into my process and just use it to my benefit.
And then, which, like you said, I mean, and every day I would mention it, I know a few times on the show, because I know sometimes like I'd get my show started right afterwards when, we're done with interviews, and man, you were still out there getting your steps. And I mean, Coach Dillingham, Coach Roy always said, well, that's just who he is. And they both alluded to it. It's not just because, like you said, that like, you just got cleared in your back, but you were doing that every day, even before. And it's like just getting the extra throws in. And I say that too to ask, because obviously you get to the point where you're cleared, you're backing up Jeff. And at that point, like you said, I mean, I know obviously he's working with you, but when you got that and you're like, all right, I'm like backing up, not that it was like, okay, you're going to relax now, but was it almost kind of like a deep breath? Like, man, I'm to your point, like I'm caught up. Like I need, there's always things I can improve on, as you players always say, and it is true, but I'm caught up. I'm right there. And how much did Jeff help that too?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a little satisfaction being able to be considered, that high up on the depth chart now. But at the same time, it wasn't like nothing's ever should be, in my opinion, satisfied enough. You should never be satisfied, like they always say. You should always be wanting to do better. And I mean, I still haven't touched the field. And so, I mean, I can't really even say like, oh yeah, like, I'm cool with what I got. Because obviously I'm striving. That's the next goal, is just to get out there and to play and to show people what I can do. And so really, I mean, at that time, I was still so focused on my process. And, even though I was done rehabbing, I'm still trying to find things that can better my process in my first year playing college football. So that was really where my mind was focused at. Not so much like, oh, now I'm second string on the depth chart, or now I'm, the next guy. I don't know. I mean, I was more so focused on like, if I get in, can I do these things? Can I stay true to my process? Can I continue to work hard? Can I continue to be the guy who, I'm becoming, be the player I'm becoming, and really just stay true to myself and stay true to who I've always been and who my parents raised me to be.
Yeah, and that's all. And and to me, like when I first had you on, because, and when I know I was kidding around, you said, oh well, look, he broke his own news on the show, but when you first the coaches talked to you working on it, you were going to go to receiver and work with Coach Ward, and then you said they come back in and want you to play, they want you at quarterback, and I said, and you said, I'll play anything because I can help contribute to the team, but did that also help in the mental, the mental aspect of it, of, hey, they want me at quarterback, so like you said, some days are always going to be tough in rehab. I didn't have it to the level of you, but God knows I've had those days too, where you're like, man, forget this, like I'm not finishing this or whatever, but you still finish it. But them wanting you to move back to quarterback and seeing what you've done, was that just kind of like an extra boost for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely being in that room, and definitely being just in that situation as a whole, right when I came in, just kind of, I mean, it just, it helped, just being around those guys, and especially being around such high competitors. Sam, as soon as I got here, like that was the first time I met him. He was like, I don't think you could beat me in a 1v1 basketball game, because I don't know how we even started talking about it, you know what I mean? But that's just like who he is. And being around that, I feel like that allowed me to thrive and that allowed me to grow and develop, and not focus so much on the injury at hand or the difficulty at hand, but more so how I can just better myself and how I can just compete and just be, the best in everything that I do. And so, I just feel like my situation, just being the way it was, it all worked out. You know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason. We may not know why at the time, but I'm now looking back on it already. Like I can already see how I just benefited so much from it.
Well, speaking of benefit, all right, a little bit of a fun one for you. So, I mean, you get here and obviously, getting to
He just grinds. He works hard. Everything that happens on the field, as good of a player he is on the field, he's an even better person off of it. And I think learning some of the ways that he goes about his life, I definitely take value in that. You know what I mean? And so I just hope he can, in this draft, his stock just goes all the way up, and he's the first receiver taken off the board, because he deserves it. Just only being here for a year and seeing him grinding and everything it's all kudos to him.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And like I said, even like that one play early in the season where Sam has like a little jump pass, and I'm like, it's never going to get there. And then he catches it, like snags it one hand and then hurdles it. I'm like, man, you can't even do something like that in a horse. If you called that, everybody'd be like, man, I don't care if it's a different sport. They'd be like, I don't care if you're doing trick shot, like you're doing trick shot football. You could, if anybody called that, everybody'd be like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Hey, let me ask you this too, because it's about competition in this day and age. Coach Dillingham and Coach, Royal, while he's been here, and all the coaches have talked about, like, they're out, they're recruiting guys, and their job obviously is to recruit, because the first person they talk to, as much as they'd probably love, every coach would love that first person to sign and maybe not have to keep it going. But Coach, said obviously, depending on what happens, but Sam decides to transfer. Obviously, Jeff's out of eligibility and he's graduating and moving on. And he said, he's going to look to the portal to bring a quarterback for competition. And, and I said on the show, and it wasn't about, not just because you're here. I said, he's not, people were like, oh, because I saw a few messages. People thought that, oh, we're going to lose a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year. I'm like, and normally I know I told you this a while back. I don't get involved in those because everybody's just like going to just keep yapping. And I said, all I put is, he's a competitor, not going anywhere. And I hadn't talked to you. Somebody said, oh, did you talk to him? I'm like, nope. I go, nope. I go, he's not going anywhere. Coach Dillingham, if he's saying it to us in the media, you bet your butt he's talking to his whole team, each individual group. Like, you're going to compete. You're going to come in here. And like you said, obviously I would want that as a player, because like you said, how else are you going to get better? But the fact that you chose to stay, what went into that for you, and not to hit the transfer portal, maybe see like, oh, maybe I'll try my luck somewhere else.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that, like, I'm valuing my word, my commitment. I think it's also the fact that, this is the best situation for me. And I think that I can lead this football team to win a lot of games this year, to achieve all our goals, and to achieve all my personal goals by doing that. And not that any of that matters, we're focused on one day at a time, but like I said, this is the best place for me. As soon as I stepped foot in Tempe, I knew that this would be home. And I didn't take any other visits, none of that. Like, I loved it here, and I love it here. You know what I mean? And I think it was just that simple. Like, it's the best situation for me. Regardless, I'm gonna compete. That's how it is anywhere in the country. You know what I'm saying? So there wasn't really much thought that went into it for me. It was just, continuing to get my mind right, continuing to make sure that I'm staying ahead, continuing to make sure that, everything's all right with my knee. And even though I'm back, there's still certain things I have to do to propel myself forward and stay ahead, like I said. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just where my mind went immediately after the season, after the Sun Bowl, is just, how can I get better and how can I be ready to lead this team and be ready when my time is come.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, nobody in this day and age, the people, of course, that will fault and blame, not the coaches or anything, but it's the, like everybody's always said, you can't spell fanatic without fans. So yes, they're fanatics, and of course they'll blame the player and they'll say, oh, forget, people don't want to talk about loyalty anymore, or this or that. Every situation is different. It's understandable, but yeah, like I said, I don't get involved, and the reason why also, because then I started getting just bombarded with everybody, I'm like, yeah, I'm exiting from this. I just wanted to say, it's the mic drop. He's a competitor. I go, no confirmation, no story, but I'm just telling you, competitor not going anywhere. So again, like I said, but you love passion from fans. I mean, again, sometimes it is crazy, ridiculous, but at least, the passion's there. Let me ask you this. So, the off-season stuff, I saw as you guys are getting closer to obviously spring ball, and it's just crazy. It just seems like, wow, season ends, spring semester starts, you're in class for a little bit, and then bam, we're back out on the field, which I know you guys love. But I saw, some of the off the field stuff, the competing. Did you guys go, what was it, bowling the other night or arcade stuff the other night?
Yeah, we went to a go-kart racing.
Go-kart, that's what
yeah, and they actually had a arcade up in there, and that was fun. I a couple of games we were playing, we were asking some of the guys if they can put that in our players lounge and stuff. And I mean, I don't know, some of those games, like me and Martell Hughes, one of the linebackers, we're playing this 2-on-2 basketball game, and that was like some of the most fun that I've had in a while, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, that's just like the mantra of the team. Like, that's the culture. Like, even though we're going to have fun, we still going to compete in everything that I do. We actually have our competition teams for the winter that we compete in already. So just getting in those teams and competing against some of the other, miniature teams. And yeah, I mean, it's fun, it's have more fun working harder than anybody in the country. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, coach said it, and it's just not, what people say coach speak or just tongue in cheek, like it is true. All right, wait, so who is the king of the go-karts? Because I know Coach Dillingham will say, like, he rules a lot of things, but who is the ultimate champ of the go-karts, Cam?
Yeah, actually, our kicker, Carson Smith, he was rolling. Yeah, he had the fastest time that I saw. I don't know about anybody else, but he had the fastest lap that I saw. So, I mean, he kind of shocked some people. You know what I mean? I guess I think some people thought that they're a little bit faster on the karts than they were, and they're a little bit sour about that. But he proved it. Proof was in the pudding. So yeah.
Carson's just like, say all you want, just step into my race office.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So the winter team. So who's on your winter team?
Actually Carson Smith. So I was good that he got that win. We have some other guys, Martell Hughes, Big Doug. We got it's a group of 10. Makai Stewart. Trying to think who else. Uriah Nellums. And I can't think of everybody right now.
So it's but like last year, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not just like all offense. It's offense, defense.
No, it's guys from. It's just I think the way the coaches do is they have like a draft that they do, and they just draft guys from.
Okay.
And we just compete. Like, we have competition Fridays, and yeah, it's fun, to be honest. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah. So you're obviously like getting stuff in. I mean, maybe outside the go-karts, but you're getting stuff in. But you're still doing the work. Man, that's awesome. Hey, speaking of guys, the leaders. I mean, you mentioned Jordan, but CJ Fight. I mean, I know I just saw he was named to the obviously the student leadership council for the Big 12 and stuff like that. And for what's it like just being around him? I mean, I know you're from New Mexico, and obviously the whole Texas to Tempe, and we all know everybody in Texas is like, yeah, every other state we don't know. No, I know CJ's not like that, but I mean, just being around him, and like you said, seeing like the kind of leader like he is, even though, yeah, I mean, in practice, obviously he's not allowed to hit you, but I know the defensive linemen always like to, as they're going by you, like to whisper in your ear that ball wasn't going anywhere or something. But what's it like just being around CJ? And I mean, in your eyes, I mean, how cool is it for him to get that spot that he got?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I'm really happy for him. same thing that I said about, JT. He deserves all of that. I actually joke with him a little bit. I call him the president because, in our first team meeting, he's the only guy from last year that's, still on the leadership council. So Coach Dilly had him stand up and kind of told him, like, this is if we need anything done, we're going to go through him. And so, I kind of joke around and call him the president. But no, in all seriousness, he's, one of the best role models that we have on this football team. And, anybody, would be lucky to be around him because some of, the habits that he's formed and, the traits that he has is, second to none. So, just taking some of that from him as well. As soon as I got here, he was one of the guys that took me under his wing, just going to, just from little things, going to Bible study, getting here early, just some of the little things, I really admire that from him.
And you always hear people, talk about it. And again, not that I don't believe it or, maybe some other people say, oh, they're just saying it. But, you talk about that off the field stuff. So now that obviously, you've been in college for a little bit, you're playing football. But how just, I guess, engaging. I know it's big, but how engaging and how just much does that help the growth doing all the off the field stuff? Like you said, whether it's go-karts, Bible study or, like you said, having more fun or just guys going to eat or maybe just swinging by somebody's place, and just hanging out and talking. How now that you're in it, how big do you feel that's just for how good that is for development in general?
Yeah, I think the off the field stuff is just as important as the on the field stuff. It's hard to play with a group of guys who you don't really like. I guess prime example, I grew up a Laker fan. So, I grew up a Kobe fan. So, him and Shaq, that's a prime example. Like, those two guys were great on the court, but off the court, not so much. And so it didn't lead to as much success as it could have been. And, it's the same way in football. It's the ultimate team game. So not wanting to rely on guys who not relying on guys who you don't like is, that's hard. Having to rely on guys who you don't like is hard, And so, obviously you're not going to, necessarily be friends with everybody, but being cordial enough, being able to go out and compete and have fun, and coexist is very important.
And plus something like, okay, so to piggyback off that, like you said, you might not be able to be friends with everybody, but something like Camp T, where I know, there's group stuff and there's position group stuff, but then everything's mixed up. Your experience at Camp T last year, how awesome was that?
Oh man, it was great. That was some of the most fun that I've had in a while. Like I said, I've never really been in the woods like that, to be honest. I never really been camping growing up and all that. So, kind of getting that first experience was fun. And, it forces you to bond with guys who you might not bond with outside of the facility or whatever. Obviously you try to, and obviously, the culture is that way already. But, just being there and being there for 3 days and, everybody's dealing with all the stuff, you don't have your nice Tempur-Pedic bed, you don't have your nice fan, all that stuff. So, it's kind of hot and miserable. So it forces you to bond and kind of rely on each other.
Oh, no, absolutely. I think that's and Camp T, like I said, I know that no technology, and I know obviously Clayton's moving on, and it's funny because once I knew Clayton was a snake guy and the jokes he played on some people, but most people did not want to go hunt. Clayton's come with me, man. He said he'd ever anybody go with him searching for snakes. You were from New Mexico. Did he ask you last year, and did you collect it down too?
Yeah, I remember him talking about it, but I'm good. I don't really. That's not my kind of thing, to be honest. So, yeah, I told him, yeah, I'm good. Just kind of stayed away from that.
Yeah, you're in the majority of the rest of the team, Cam. I will say that much. But all right, so look into to spring ball now. They're getting set to go, and I know, again, I mentioned the transfer portal before, but the transfer portal, man, coaches were crazy busy. But I know as a quarterback, there's a few running backs that came in, but as people like to call them, you got some new shiny toys and some receivers too. That receivers that are still here, but you got some new shiny. Everybody loves new shiny toys and receivers, and so just your kind of overall thoughts of how that went. But the receivers so far that have come in, just what have you thought?
Yeah, man, we got some ballers. We got some playmakers that came in, and I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna just let all of them and their game speak for itself. But I'm just really excited just to get out there and just to go out and compete and have fun, and really just to go have my first spring ball myself. Just being with those guys, seeing how they're figuring it out still, and yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's a great time. It's going to be. I'm just excited for it to be 75 to 80 degrees outside. Light breeze, sunset, beautiful sunset, just playing some football. Like to me, that's prime. Like you can't ask for much else. So yeah, I'm excited, man, just to get out there and, like you said, just having those new guys and having, such good playmakers around me is going to be exciting.
And then speaking of that too, obviously when you look in the quarterback room, Cutter Boley from Kentucky came in, and Mikey Keene, obviously was a local kid from Michigan, Fresno State, UCF is back here. But what's it like? And again, like you said, you're as quarterbacks, like, yeah, you're going to get to know each other. You got to gel. But what's it like so far been with them, just being around them? And obviously, I'm sure they got, like I said, they got to understand the offense too, but they probably have a few questions for you, just like, you were learning, but you had a few questions for Sam and Jeff as well.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, obviously I'm one of the younger guys in the room. I'm not the youngest. There's Fetty, who just came in. He's a freshman. But, I'm the second youngest, but I'm the only one that's been here. So it's a little weird. I'm kind of still like kind of a rookie, but kind of like a vet. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But at the same time, it's great. It's a great experience. Anytime you bring a group of guys from all walks of life and all different experiences, and you just learn from one another, it's amazing, because that's how you better yourself. So really just being here and just being the only guy that's kind of been here so far, it's been great. I've been trying to step up as a leader more, and just do what I can to benefit the team.
Nice. Yeah, and again, that's as a quarterback, of course everybody, you touch the ball the most, everybody's looking that way. But yeah, I could imagine some of the like you said, I can imagine some of the competition. So wait, did you ever play Sam in one-on-one?
Nah, we never got to it.
Because like that to you, but he kind of skirted around it.
Yeah, well, I was getting, obviously going through my process,
right.
To the point where I was getting cleared, and then that's kind of when he got injured. It never really worked out. But one of these days, yeah, we're gonna have to see for sure.
I was gonna say I look forward to that, and yeah, just give me a heads up. I'll come out and do a little play-by-play for you.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can definitely do that. But
sure.
Man, so what? Anything else? I know obviously like with the bowl game, winter break was maybe a little short, but what did you kind of do to just get away and like take a breath and relax again? Not that you don't want to be playing football, but what was the rest of your break like after the bowl game?
Yeah, I just went back home for a little bit, kind of reflected on the season, the journey so far. I try to do it after every season, just try to think back and, kind of close the chapter. That way I can move forward. And, that's really about it. Just spending time with friends and family back home, and just being grateful for the journey this far. Yeah, just looking forward to what's to come. You know what I mean? Just getting my mind right. Obviously, like you said, it's a quick turnaround. So just being ready for that, and just being ready for what's to come.
Yeah, exactly. And when you talk about the quick turnaround too, that's what I wanted, because obviously with that coming up, and I mentioned it like on Fridays, my Pats Run shirt, because again, Pat Tillman, a phenomenal Sun Devil. But last year you guys obviously did the kids run. Mm-hmm. And I know like everybody was out there, and Coach Shillingham said, yeah, the leadership group said no, like everybody's coming out. And you saw a lot of little kids like taking off fast, running with you guys. But when you're a part of something like Pats Run, obviously it's awesome. It's a great honor, keeps his memory, tradition, everything going. But when you see like the kids
and looking up to the college players back then, and just wanted nothing else but to be them. And now that I'm at that position, and able to give back a little bit, it's just full circle moment. And so, yeah, I mean, anytime that we're able to do those events, anytime that we're, right now I'm actually coaching a flag football team, a group of 6 and 7 year olds. So, yeah, I mean, really just being able to do that and to just give back is amazing.
That's all right. So, okay, I was going to say last one, but you said flag football. So let me ask you this. Any interest? I know it's a little bit away, but maybe, it's an Olympic sport trying to get in the 2028 LA games on a flag football team. I mean, look, obviously I know you want to get to certain levels, but I'm just saying, if it were to present itself, would you want to play in the Olympics in flag football?
Man, that's like, that's crazy to even think about. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to cross that bridge when I get there. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm at a point in time where I can and like it just works out the way it's supposed to. Then yeah, for sure. But I mean, I'm gonna cross that bridge when I get there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm glad when you said you're coaching, because I was like, oh yeah, I saw that, but I was like, yeah, that would be again, as coaching, now you're kind of getting that inside track. So yeah, again,
yeah.
Like I said, wherever you're at, that would be awesome. I mean, heck, man, I wish I had it years ago. I mean, I'm not saying I would have, but I think I would have been I would have been a great all-time center. I get that snap back quick, man. I've got to run pattern, and then I can sneak out. I can sneak out one or two patterns.
A little center leak out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, that play, you can't use it every play, but I will say in flag football, having used that, like when you do it every now and then, like people just get so mad because they're like, hey, you're the one that didn't cover it. So we always like that. But man, Cam, hey, thanks so much for taking the time. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, you're part of the Pitchfork Lunch family, so it is a Homer show. But yeah, glad you're back. Can't wait to see you, obviously, out at spring ball. And yeah, whenever that one-on-one game happens, like you say, you got yourself a play-by-play guy. So we'll get something going, because I don't know. And hey, actually, your sister could be my color analyst, because I'm sure she could razz you a little bit too.
Yeah. No, she will. She'll let her do that.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Cam, look, I greatly appreciate this. And like I said, enjoy this little bit. I know as you're getting amped up for spring ball, and you get to, like I said, after a few days, put the pads back on. But thanks for jumping in, and we'll catch up soon, my friend.
Sounds good, man. Go Devils.
Awesome. And we'll have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up. What an awesome conversation with Cam Dyer right there, guys. Again, so glad he joined us here today on Pitchfork Lunch. Again, absolutely awesome. And just a lot there, like I said, the injury, but just like I said, his family, everything. Like his dad's a coach, so even more awesome. But yeah, fortunate to Cam Dyer for joining us. So that is going to do it, guys, for today. Monday is going to be an insane recap. Obviously, the rest of the Kajikawa Classic was softball. Wrestling is at Wednesday DFA tonight, and then like wrestling, gymnastics, men's golf is in Hawaii yesterday. Well, they started yesterday. I thought they were starting today, but yesterday through tomorrow. Men's golf. So we got hockey, men's golf, softball, basketball, men's and women's hoops. The men are in Colorado. The women are in Waco at Baylor. So, I mean, yeah, Monday is going to be an insanely awesome review to the weekend, which is a lot. You can get out. Again, get on out to Farrington Stadium, 6:15 tonight. But you got games going on all day today, tomorrow. And then the Devils play Memphis on Sunday at 12:45. So that is what is left there. So we're going to get out of here. Have a phenomenal rest of your Friday. Oh, and also don't forget, it is #OurState. Thanks for reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball for always reminding me of that. But yes, so yes, with golf, hold on, yes, real quick. It is #OurState. Team down south, that's for you. Oh, swimming, taking on the team down south tomorrow. Softball all weekend. Hockey tonight, tomorrow night as well too. So it is all there. But we're going to get out of here. You have a phenomenal rest of your day. Going to treat you to some wonderful of the Kinsey Brown performance last night on the way out. But yes, have a great weekend. I will see you Monday. Go Devils. And you guys know it. As always,
I went to Arizona State.
Right.
I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. This team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
The other way. Still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter.